Soldiers should be brave and strong and believe what they fight for. At the end, we were just a bunch of scared little kids.
Sam, you're safe with us now.
Dad, you know I grew up here, but...
You don't ever have to go to the front ever again. This is your home.
So much has changed. Dad, I've changed.
You'll always be my little girl. It takes more than a cyber heart to change that.
Next time on Ever's After. In the Fourth War, we lost most of Block 18 when the Southern Front collapsed. Meanwhile, I lost my heart and my squad. I rebuilt my heart, but it would take more than a pile of rough scrap to replace Boomer, Jersey, Chuckos, Teppy, Sonny, and the rest. Now that I've found a way back home, I don't recognize the place. Recalling my first steps back on American Lane, I think I know why. Home is where your heart is. I left mine on the oil fields and watched it burn.
You're Samantha Evers, aren't you?
Who's asking?
You don't recognize me? Both of my boys are gone, and now you don't even care. You're completely...
Heartless? Not for a couple months, at least. What's this letter, Dad?
Unwrap it.
You mean Gurry Mason? Son of the sheriff? Why did they say he's watching us?
That's his job now, Sam. He took over when his father left us. He does it for the neighborhood, to keep us safe.
That was the thrilling series premiere of the Acu semi-realistic fictional action drama Ever's After. Join us this time next week for episode 2, when we get to know the real fictional Samantha Evers. See her searching for her path back to sobriety? Join her as she tries to win over her neighbors following the loss of Block 18. Will she see her friend Teft again? Samantha Evers left the war, but it seems like the war isn't satisfied. Ever's After. Next up, is your heart broken? Listen up to your emotional mechanics, Professor Charm de Froen and co-host Rad Flink. Radiationships is now on WSPN. The Spoon.
Bakudo and Shimbata, junkies, juicers, and jackals, settlers and survivors. To all you ratheads out there in Radiation Nation, this is an emergency broadcast to your heart. Further instructions are incoming. Broadcasting live from our EBS compound, an undisclosed location deep in the Lions of the Sadlands. Our hearts are pure, our backs strong, and eyes shielded from the glare of the bone waste. I'm Rad Flink, with me, the Professor. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your radiation ship. Professor, how are you?
Perplexed.
Perplexed.
I'm perplexed.
Are you? You don't look perplexed.
Well, I play my cards close to the vest until such a time as I disclose it with my mouth.
Sure.
So even still, you can't see my cards. You just have to take my word for it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any cards at all. So what are you perplexed about, Professor?
I'm perplexed regarding the state of just our facilities. We are in a bunker of protection and comfort, but regardless of that fact, I'm plagued by the wobbling of tables in the commissary.
The wobbling of tables in the commissary.
The wobbling of tables. We have defense capabilities, but we don't have tables that don't wobble.
That's true. Although I can't say I've looked at all the tables in the entire compound. As you said, it is expansive. There are quite a few tables. And we have limited use for tables. Barricades, makeshift shelters, hiding bug-out bags, that sort of thing, mainly. And, of course, you know, the dinner table and the table we have here in the studio. I guess this one is... It is wobbling a little bit, isn't it?
It's wobbling at a disconcerting angle. I spend a lot of time. I know your quadrant of the bunker is by the grotto. Mine is closer to the creature comforts, the automatic massage tables, the commissary itself, and so I spend a lot of time just trying to optimize my comfort.
Well, you know, specifically with the commissary. Now that I'm thinking about it, last time I went in there to grab some cans, a few bags full. I did notice there was an indentation of some sort and maybe some charring on the floor in one spot. Have you given that any thought? Maybe that that charring and that looked like there was some sort of explosion or something that could have happened there might have affected the integrity of the tables in that area of the bunker?
I mean, that has not escaped my attention. I assumed, as is my practice now, that anytime there's a charring present, that Caden was using that as location, but I have not conferred with him. I haven't seen him in a few days.
For those listeners who didn't recognize the name there, we have a producer named Caden who assists us with various items with the show. Mm-hmm. Regardless, I'm sure there's some stuff we could find, maybe some ponchos or something like that, blankets and that sort of thing. We can just, put them under the legs of the table. I'm sure we can get everything straightened out. I'd be happy to loan you some from my side if you need additional support for those tables.
I appreciate that. I know your proximity to the bunker PX is invaluable, and might I commend you on the excellent selection of your goggles today.
Well, thank you. Which ones do you like the best?
The ones on your thigh.
Yes.
It's just a beautiful, beautiful shade of ochre.
Absolutely. Yeah. I really think it brings out my cargo pockets. Mm-hmm. 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 Well, I think maybe we should go to a caller now. We got anybody on the lines here?
We'll be right back with Rad Flink and Professor Shom DeFryan on Radiation Ships.
Are you lonely? Just hopping aimlessly from room to room along miles of hallways in a metaphorical emergency broadcast bunker of desolation, singing your lonesome song and wishing there was someone who could sing along. Not too long ago, so was I. Then I found the Family Grillity, a warm and friendly community of nurturing brothers and sisters who took me by the mandible and said, "Hey, you belong." Now I spend my days doing the things I always wished I could. Hopping in tandem with my new buddies, chirping in four-part harmony, worshipping at the altar of Rothma the Bloodless, and volleyball. We play a lot of volleyball. If that sounds like the kind of home you've always wanted, please join us. You can find us in the ventilation ducts of any local EBS compound broadcasting from an undisclosed location deep in the lines of the Sadlands. The Family Grillity is our family. The Family Grillity is your family. Please, join us. Sing with us. Sing with us. Sing with us.
We now return to Radiation Ships, already in progress, on WSPN. The Spoon.
Rad, I don't know about you, but I haven't changed any lives today. Let's go ahead and take another caller.
I change my life every day.
Go ahead, caller. Welcome to Radiation Ships. How can we service you?
Hey, fellas, how y'all doing today?
Superbly.
Doing great. No need to ask.
None.
That's always the answer.
All right, well, my name is Paul Carthy, like my Paul before him, and his Paul before him. I'm just having a little bit of trouble today, fellas.
Okay.
My girlfriend just left me, and now I'm up here all by myself, and I don't quite know what to do about it.
Rejection.
Sure. Now, it goes into what we were talking about before, Professor. I think some people have things that are, inside them.
Yeah.
That keep others from being able to make a connection.
Well, it ain't nothing inside me I didn't put there, fellas.
Yeah, fair enough. So what did you put inside yourself that made your girlfriend stop loving you?
Like ideas and, stuff things places when we're having the intercourse and, it's all natural stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, ideas are dangerous, as we all know.
You get too many. They run wild.
They run wild.
Gotta get one of them.
Yeah.
Get a good one. Mm-hmm. Stick with it.
Well, that's exactly what she thought when she left. She's like, I have this idea I want to do with my life, and I want to go, and we're leaving. And I'm like, well, lady, I'm staying here because my mechanic shop's here.
Okay.
There you go.
So what in your estimation was your ideological repugnance? What do you think and feel that just really sucks?
Well, being up here by myself kind of sucks.
Okay.
All right, but before that, we need to go back. We need to think back before your girlfriend left you. What was it that she said made you unlovable? What was it?
Well, I don't really know.
I can't love you because...
Well, I don't really know. As soon as she said that, I quit paying attention.
Okay.
See, that's the way you got to do it. Like I said, too many ideas dangerous. get too many in your head, you fill it right up.
You made the right decision at the wrong time. You closed yourself off to dangerous ideas at a point when it would be important to know what it is about you that is just godlessly intolerable.
Well, I didn't think that I did anything wrong. I'm just working all the time, trying to pay attention to them feminine needs she's got.
Okay, well, do you remember anything? I mean, we don't have to talk about that specific instance. So let's think back further. Do you remember anything she ever said?
No, not really.
This could be a tough nut to crack, Professor.
Now, is it because you were uninterested, or was it because she was uninteresting?
Oh, I was definitely interested in her. She had them big boobies, and I just love to play little drums on them sometimes, doom, juggle them like balls. That's how she liked it.
Did she make you stop when she started talking?
Well, how did you know that?
How do you think I knew that?
Are you a magician?
No, I'm not. No, God, I'm not in with him. But, Professor, do you have any insight here? Because if he's not remembering anything she said, we're going to have to go from context clues, I think.
Right. Well, I suppose my first question is, if you claim that you were interested in your girlfriend and you can't really remember anything about her other than her physical attributes, why?
Now, caller, was she anything other than physical attributes?
Well, now, she had these pretty boobies that I just love to look at.
Right.
Those would be physical attributes.
She had these, she had a nice butt.
Okay, that's another one.
Long legs.
Uh-huh.
Real long hair.
Okay.
She had a nice butt.
Okay.
That's about it.
Okay. Did your girlfriend possess life signs? Did she have things like a personality and opinions?
Well, she'd moan when I tickled her or, kissed her, licked her, whatever.
Okay. But did you have any indication that she was a person, or was she some sort of a sex drone?
Well, I mean, I don't think she's a drone.
Okay, so no positive indications of sex drone, none of the normal flying, floating.
Well, she could breathe, and she made sandwiches and whatnot.
Okay, she made sandwiches.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, unless you paid top dollar for the sandwich sex drone, we're almost certainly dealing with a human.
They're nearly always one purpose. You got the sandwich drone, you got the sex drone.
Yeah. The combo deal is really more expensive than I could afford. Probably more than you could afford, Rad.
No, it's not.
That's a lot of cans.
Well, I don't know how much, I ain't never paid for no women before, but
okay.
I'm not opposed to giving her a try.
Okay,
well, that would be one way forward.
Okay. Now, did she give you any indication as to why she's leaving? Did she say, I'm leaving because...
Oh, you know what I just thought of, Professor?
What's that?
What I've heard, sometimes when women leave, they might leave a note behind.
Okay.
These notes often have things they've written on them.
Mm-hmm.
Words of various sorts. Caller, do you see any paper laying around?
Well, now, they're just notebooks she used to scribble in all the time.
Okay.
Well, why don't you flip that notepad open? Or if you see any pieces, is there a piece torn out of that notepad?
Well, the first page just has kill meow all over it.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
It says kill meow.
Kill meow. No.
Yeah, but she spelled meow funny. It's a little broken apart.
Do you own cats?
I mean, I don't know. It's something about her hating the life, and I don't really
She
quite
hates
know.
life?
I'm assuming she used to yell it at me all the time.
If she hates life, I mean, that's not right.
Well, that's what I told her. I tried to get her to come to work out in the garage with me.
Yeah, no, I mean, are there any more of these sort of maniacal, genocidal ramblings in that diary?
She got a box of these things in the corner of the bedroom. Looked like she'd been scribbling in them for years.
Okay, fine. Can you find the most recent one?
Well, it's the one I'm holding in my hand. It's sitting on the kitchen counter.
Okay. Flip into the back there.
Okay.
You see anything? Any dangerous plans or machinations in there?
About people's sex.
Okay.
Sounds to me like you really dodged a bullet, caller. I gotta say.
I mean, I just don't know what to do with myself now.
I mean, it seems like your former lover has reservations about life and intentions on removing lives from something that.
Because maybe what we're looking at here, maybe we should think about is we might have focused on the wrong thing initially, because initially we asked the caller, what is it about you that is inside that is dirty and disgusting and unlovable? Yeah. And I think we found something that may have made the opposite of that true. Because as we found these nasty, disgusting writings.
Well, whoever meow is better be careful.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is absolutely horrible that you had to put up with a woman like this, regardless of whatever physical attributes she had. She was obviously hiding from you these malicious, absolutely horrible psychotic tendencies. She's a little goblin running around wishing ill on perfectly good meow cats, whatever have you.
Well, now that
and you never knew. You never knew.
It is kind of funny because she used to just bitch and moan and all day long.
There you go. And who likes that, right?
I don't know. I tried to love her, but it's just too hard.
Yeah, it's too hard. And sometimes when it's too hard, what you got to do is just give up.
No, it's hard. Literally, I'm looking at it.
Oh, well, that's a different... Professor?
Do you possess one of the aforementioned sex bots?
No, I don't, but I could probably build me one.
Okay. That's probably your best course of action. But I want to dig a little deeper into the nature of the conflict. So obviously your ex had a lot of just terribleness inside of her that caused you to not really be able to love her at all. And your lack of love caused her to leave you.
Well, I tried to love on her every night.
How?
Did your daddy not teach you the birds and the bees?
I had actually very little to no sexual contact with my daddy.
Or maybe the wasp and the tortoise?
What's the wasp and the tortoise?
You know the story, the stinger. He can't get the stinger in because the tortoise shell is so hard.
All right, yeah. Well, caller, I think the point here is you called us asking for help.
Yeah, to what to do with myself.
Well,
now,
the issue,
all this time.
Well, hang on. I would say that's up to you. And what we're discovering is that you're probably in a better place now than you were before.
I suppose.
So you may have some time on your hands, but the important thing is how are you going to use that time? And what are you going to do with your hands?
Well, I don't know about you, but I could think of a few things to do with my hands.
Well, why don't you go ahead and find a few of those things you can do?
I love to work on cars.
Do you have many cars?
I got about 12 or so of them out here.
Okay, all of them working.
Well, no, but that's the fun part, the working on them.
Like the professor said earlier, sex drones. Maybe you could modify one of your cars.
I ain't never heard of that, but ain't such a bad idea.
Well, let me put it like this. Your ex-girlfriend, all she really provided to you was hate.
And sandwiches.
And sandwiches, sure. I don't know if you can do that with a car, but all she provided was hate and just this disgusting tar of emotion towards you and the rest of all of us living creatures. Now, if all you got out of that relationship, physical companionship, maybe that's all you need. And I would argue, Professor, if you could back me up here, that potentially a sex drone or similar, a sex car, a car with a hole in it could fulfill much of the same requirements.
You have a lot to give. Make a recipient.
Well, that sure give me a lot to think of, fellas.
Well, thank you very much for calling.
All right, fellas. Well, I'm going to start working on these cars, and I may give you a call back.
All right, please do. Let us know what develops. Don't lose a number or anything. I think that does it for that caller. I believe we have some more on the line. Let's go to them and see what we got.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Howdy, partner. Didn't see you there. Don't mind me. Just finishing off this nice cold beer. Nice long draw off a fresh brew. Ain't nothing like it. Sure is a nice change from the sun, isn't it? Desert heat almost makes you wish for another apocalypse, but a refreshing beverage like this doesn't just fall out of the sky like a damn Godzilla. Tell you what, friend, I like your look. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. How'd you like to get yourself a whole few of these for your very own? That 12-month coin you're fingering all nervous like? Turn them in. That's worth a good 4 drinks and a roll in the hay with Mabel. Down at Chance's Last Saloon. 4 a.m. to 6. Come on down. Past the turnbuckle over Regret's Way. It's 12 steps up, but only 1 step down. Chance's Last Saloon. See you soon.
Next up, the fully stocked questions block from 9 to 11. At 9, are they still alive? 10, listen to Isn't That Fancy? At 10:30, enjoy everyone's favourite show, Where Is My? And at 10:55, we ask the question, are you there? Are you there? The fully stocked questions block. Remember, this is the only time during which you should ask only these questions.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to business here. First things first, just like to remind you, we had a few callers here recently calling in. You are more than welcome to call in with your problems, but please don't call in with your products. All right, we got another caller on the line. Caller, what's your name? What's wrong with you?
Hi.
Hi, caller. Go ahead. What's your name and what's wrong with you?
Hi. My name is Carl. I got a problem.
Okay, well, go ahead. We are all ears.
Okay, so I work because they're supposed to, and I make with cigarettes.
Okay.
And I'm old, gone into retirement, and I don't know if I'm supposed to.
Okay, caller. Let's see if we can't speed this up a little bit. You said you were old. How old are you, caller?
I'm this many.
Hey, can you hold your fingers a little closer to the mic?
I'm this many.
It sounds like was it 2?
No.
No.
I'm 3.
3. Okay.
So 3 years old. Got a job making cigarettes. Is that correct?
I'm good. I'm good at it.
Well, that's very enterprising of you. I have to say, I really appreciate that at a young age, really getting out there and making something of yourself in the world.
Okay, but I need some into retirement. My monies, do I take it to Bankman and tell them make it bigger monies? Or do I take that and I put it under my sleep board?
Let's walk this back a little bit. While you can never be too young to make a worthwhile contribution to society, you can be too young to stop being useful. So if you are just this many old and you're thinking about retirement, it's probably a little bit too early.
You're jumping the gun a little bit there.
No,
I'll also say, hang on just a second, caller. Let me preface this by saying something. We are not a financial advice show. And if you're looking for financial or retirement advice,
but you help.
We do help, and we will try to help. And I mean, we are here to help our listeners. And any caller that calls in, we will offer advice. But I just want you to be aware.
I listen when it's my nap time, and you tell people how you help.
Absolutely, we do help. Yeah, we do, but we help people with we help people with well.
Now, if you'd like to discuss perhaps the origin and nature of this, what sounds like a pathological laziness to me, we'd be more than glad to walk you through that. You know, you've decided that you don't want to work anymore.
No,
and really the main focus of our show, I don't quite know how to state that. You know when grown-ups kiss?
Ew.
Well, yeah, that's more when they kiss a lot, laying down. No, that's more focus of our show.
Because I got retirement, and if I don't, they turn me and my Pooh Bear into cigarettes.
Oh, okay. You work at the Kitterettes factory.
Oh, this could be a problem.
Okay. Yeah, it's a potential conflict of interest.
Yeah, you could call it that.
We just to go on record as saying we fully, wholeheartedly endorse the business practices and employee treatment of the Kitterettes cigarettes company.
And the full rich taste.
And the full rich taste. We do welcome calls from employees, but not calls that are employment-based in nature. We don't settle grudges and disputes between Kitterette employees.
And certainly nothing that goes against the non-disclosure agreements signed by any employees.
You typing too much. You shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying that I got retirement
Look. You called in. So don't tell me to shut the F up. All right, and I ask you to keep I would ask you to keep your language clean. This is a family show. Excuse me. Hey, do you want help or not? Cuz I will cut this call right now unless you clean your mouth up.
Okay.
Now, Carter, it's important to remember, if your employer hears you using profanity, they're going to wash your mouth out with soap.
That's what I have for dinner.
Okay. But if you are soon to become cigarettes, then what's going to happen is there's going to be a customer of the benevolent Kitterettes company who's going to get a pack of cigarettes that taste not silky and full of goodness like Kitterettes should, but like soap. Do you want that? Do you want...
Theoretically, that could happen.
I don't give a shit.
Once again, please, keep the language clean.
I don't give a shit. That fur clothes, my Pooh Bear.
Okay. Let's turn this call around. Caller, just hang on just a second. We've gotten off on the wrong foot. While this isn't a financial advice show, we will absolutely help you to the fullest of our ability, so long as you don't disparage the great company that you work for. Now, let's get back to the root of this problem. You said something about you and your Pooh Bear being turned into cigarettes?
Uh-huh.
All right, so walk us through that. How is that going to happen?
Okay. When you got too old and you can't make the smaller cigarettes no more, they tell you that you gotta take the monies and go a place else, or you stay in the company and you still got a place sleep, but at the end, then they got turn into cigarettes.
Frankly, there's agreement that has to be signed by any employee of Kitterettes Factory, and the company in general. If this is something that you've agreed to, you've agreed to be turned into cigarettes. I'm not seeing the problem. Because
I'm scared, because I don't know what I scared the.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but if you sign that paper, you should have thought about it then. When you were 6 months old and they put that pen in your hand, you're the one that put it to paper.
But I'm asking, am I supposed to? I don't know.
I mean, some are born cigarettes, some are sold for cigarettes, and some have the molecular structure of smooth, cool smoke superimposed on them by highly specialized cutting-edge nanotechnology.
I don't know what that means. I mean, you're supposed to. I don't know what to do in the investment of my 401k, and it's traveling with the trending markets.
Oh, okay. So you're worried about providing for your Pooh Bear?
That's what I said.
Okay. Well, let's look at that then. But before we look at that, though, we'll deal with that in a second. Before we look at that, have you explored other options? While that contract is binding, there are clauses where you can buy yourself out of it, and various other adoption or other routes you can take. You seem pretty set on becoming cigarettes, though, and yet you say you're afraid of it.
Well, and let's not ignore the fact that you have acquired some highly transferable skills. I mean, your time at Kitterettes is done, but there are a number of, albeit subpar, options. You could get a job at Toddlerettes. You could go to Tykerettes. You could find gainful employment at Tweenerettes, or get a job at Barely Legals. The options are nearly limitless.
Do you want to adopt me? I'll go home with you.
We aren't looking for any adoption, but if you are interested, I did mention adoption as a potential option. You know, responsible kids your age are generally going to have a mommy. Have you thought about getting a mommy?
No, that's all the vegetables and nap time, and you gotta wash your face Fuck that.
All right, once again, watch the language. I gotta say, you're not giving us a lot to work with here. On one hand, you're saying, yeah, I don't want to become cigarettes. I'm afraid of it. I don't know what to do with my retirement. On the other hand, you're saying, I don't want to go out and get a mommy. And frankly, it comes off as lazy.
I'm asking you what I'm supposed to do and how I diversify my portfolio, how to get the money so I take care of my career. I'll go out there, I'll have a place to live. You've already got a place to live. You're not helping me. All you're saying is the things that I don't want.
Okay, well, I believe there's accountant / personal financial advisor the Kitteretts factory makes available to any of their elderly employees.
No, it's Frankie Weinstein.
Yeah, she's an absolutely wonderful accountant, an absolutely wonderful personal finance advisor.
No, she's a poopy face. I don't like her.
Have you talked to her at all about these retirement options you have?
No, but she's ugly.
I know her by reputation only. I can't speak to her personal appearance or limb status.
She got a 6 mouths. 6. You count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mouths.
Now, be that as it may, let me ask you a question. As I myself have not met Ms. Weinstein, I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to think long and hard about this before you answer.
No.
I'm going to ask you the question anyway. Is Frankie Weinstein cigarettes?
No.
Then perhaps you have something that you could learn from her. If you don't want to be cigarettes, and she is an older lady who is not cigarettes, perhaps she could teach you how you cannot be cigarettes.
Speaking of that, I believe she's childless. Have you ever thought about addressing her and seeing if she might be interested in becoming your mommy?
You want to live with that? You go ahead. I'm not living in no 6-mouth bitch.
I guess let's look at this from a financial point of view. If you're not going to talk to the personal advisor so graciously made available, and made available, I would say, to all the employees of the Kitteretts factory, this is everything from, the 6 months old when they first come in, all the way up to 3. This is something not many companies do. Most of the rest of the companies that you mentioned, well, I'm sure they're fine products. Well, I'm sure they have their standards that they adhere to. They don't make that sort of service available to their employees. Mm-hmm. And I really think it speaks to the heart of sort of what Kitteretts is as a brand.
Why when you look up in do you know why the sky? Do you know why sky is a blue?
The sky isn't blue. It hasn't been blue for a good many years now.
It is in my room.
That may be the ceiling. The ceiling is the top of the room. Like if you look up and you're inside, that would be the ceiling. It's the lid to your house, so to speak.
Why is the glass a lid?
Well, I would imagine, when were the cavemen first in caves, or more about this than I do, Professor. But something about rain, keeping rain out, keeping the weather out, keeping the radioactive wind and dust and what have you.
What's that? What's that? What's the radio?
No, hey, hang on a second. I absolutely refuse to believe, even at 3, there is no way you have ever been outside and not know what a radioactive dust is. Are you telling me you've never left the factory? You mean owie wind? Yeah, the owie wind. That's a pretty good way, a very visceral description of it, I think.
Why didn't you just say owie wind?
That's not what it's called. It's not called owie wind. No, it's not called owie. It's not called owie wind. It is absolutely not called owie wind. Look, there's a reason it hurts. There's a reason the pain is there when it hits your skin and you feel it just flaking off. There's a reason for that.
Cause it's an owie. The owie wind.
Look, I'm sorry I lost my composure there a little bit. But let's get back to the point. Professor, would you mind taking over just a minute? I've got to take a minute, take a breath.
Carter?
Yeah?
Are you hungry?
hallways.
Mm-hmm. Have you listened to our show before?
I listened when I was in the break room.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you remember what I tell our callers who call before they've had a snack? I think you do. If you don't seek knowledge on a full stomach, you will be lonely forever. I think maybe you need to get a snack, and maybe we can try this conversation again later.
I don't want a snack right now. You can't tell me what to do.
Look, you just eat the genie snack, all right? Look, Carter, I've had about enough of this, all right? You called in here asking for help, but now you got to give us lip. You got to give us these dirty, dirty words that you keep throwing at us like javelins.
Do you have to poop?
Rad, do you remember the conversation we had before the show today?
I don't want to talk about it, Professor.
Rad, do you know what I tell you when you have to poop and you don't poop before the show?
I don't want to.
Rad, if you don't poop before the show, you get angry and you're going to die alone.
See, that's what I said.
No, it's not. No.
That's what I said.
Okay. Rad and Carter, I think you both need a snack. I think you both need to poop.
I had a snack already. I had 3 snacks. I don't need any more snacks.
He's not helping me with my portfolio. He's not helping me with my monies. He's not helping me with nothing. He's not helping me. He just get loud and then they go la la la.
I'm not getting loud. You're getting loud. You're the one that's getting loud, Carter. You're the one that's being inappropriate. You're the one that's doing this nasty talking. Some kind of little, like, echidna just running around on the floor, getting up underfoot, ruining the show.
Okay.
You know that's what you are, right? You're just a big show ruiner. Big, dirty, oozy show ruiner echidna.
Okay. Rad, Carter, it doesn't matter who started it. We've all said some very, very yucky things today.
Carter started it!
Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. We've all said some very, frankly, yucky things today. Rad?
I didn't say any bad words.
Rad, it's time for a timeout. Go stand in the corner of the studio. Carter?
Yeah?
Take all of your income invested in a Roth IRA. To all of our listeners out there, have a pleasant evening. And do not come looking for us.
Don't come looking for us!